guys, it's me again for the second of today's countries, and here we go with Antigua and Barbuda. As it's a twin island nation in the Americas and it lies between the Atlantic Ocean and Caribbean Sea. As the country is made up of two main populated islands, Antigua and Barbuda, and several other small islands such as Long Green, Bird, Guinea, Maiden and York Islands, and further south the Redonda Islands. As a total population as of 2011 was about 81,800. As St. John's on Antigua is the capital of the largest port in the nation. Capital city in the largest port in the nation, as the Milliard painting is representing Antigua in 1823. And Antigua and Barbuda were separated from each other 3 nautical miles, and they are in the middle of the Leeward Islands, as a section of the Lesser Antilles. As the country got its name from Christopher Columbus in 1493, when he discovered the island, and the name was given to the village in tribute of the Virgin of the Antigua in Seville Cathedral. As the nation is nicknamed the land of 365 beaches because of the numerous beaches that surround the island, as the culture, legend, language and governance of Antigua and Barbuda has been influenced by a lot by the British Empire, which were once kind of like the overlords, colonial overlords kind of thing. As the history of the country can be separated into 3 different eras. It was like when Antigua and Barbuda was initially occupied by Antigua Amerindians, as Siboney, as these were succeeded by the Ceramic Age of pre-Columbian Saladiad people who spoke Arawak, and they emigrated from the lower Orinoco River. As the first wave of European colonization neglected 2 islands, but they were occupied by England from 1632. Under British rule, the islands were experienced an influx of African slaves and Britons, and in 1981 the country was granted sovereignty and became the present nation of Antigua and Barbuda. As around 1232, the territories presently referred to as Antigua and Barbuda were inhabited by the Arawak people. As this group of people survived by planting peas, maize, corn and other vegetables, and as a result agriculture was introduced. And the 2 islands were also planting sweet potatoes, cotton, tobacco, guavas, pineapples and chilies, as they also made seagoing vessels which they used to sail across the Caribbean and Atlantic Oceans. And as a result, the Arawaks and the Caribs were still able to rule over most of the Caribbean islands in South America, as some of their descendants still live in Colombia, Venezuela and Brazil. As the Arawaks lived in the island for more than 100 years, when another branch of the Arawaks was established, as the new tribes were very peaceful and included the worship of different gods and numerous other beliefs. As the new tribe was known as the Galapopa, which originated from the Antiguan word for peace, and the other tribe was known as Garashopa, which meant war, as the 2 enslaved the Galapopa, and on the 8th of December 1342 the Garashopa attacked the Galapopa in a surprise attack that had been anticipated by the Galapopa people, as the Galapopa tribe won the battle since the men were well trained. After the war, the Galapopa, Mariana, found herself in charge of both tribes and the whole territory, and it's believed that she named the territory Antigua and not Barbuda, since Antigua meant God, while Barbuda meant devil, as the region soon faced bad weather which afflicted the people, and they had to honour both God and devil by changing the territory's name to Antigua and Barbuda. As a result, crops began to prosper and poverty was said to have been reduced, as everything was okay on the two islands until the next queen took over, as her name was Misharlei, and it was during her tenure that Christopher Columbus discovered the islands, as Christopher Columbus had come to the islands to find gold and enslave the locals to save the people. The queen had an affair with him, said to have had an affair with him, as the majority of Arawaks left Antigua during this era, and those left behind were later conquered by the Caribs, as the Caribs were said to have better weapons and seafaring expertise that allowed them to seize the majority of West Indian Arawak states, enslaving a few and probably cannibalizing others, as the Caribs, however, left in the 16th century due to the scarcity of fresh water, as the remains of Fort Barrington or St. John's, as on his second voyage in 1493, Christopher Columbus discovered two islands and named the bigger one Santa Maria de la Antigua, which is important to note that the early efforts by the Europeans to conquer the two islands were a failure due to the exceptional defence of the Caribs, as England finally managed to colonise the islands in 1632, and Thomas Warner was appointed the first governor, as Antigua officially became a British colony. In 1663, as Barbuda had been annexed, but in 1628 and in 1680 Charles II gave the island to the Codrington family, who governed until 1860, when the island was annexed by Antigua, as the settlers planted a number of cash crops like sugarcane, ginger, indigo and tobacco as during this area, so Christopher Codrington created the first big sugar estate in Antigua in 1674, and he hired Barbuda to raise provisions for his plantation. In 50 years he created his first plantation, as the sugar industry on the island became very profitable, as to the extent that most farmers subsidised other crops with sugarcane, to making the island, kind of like the sugarcane the economic backbone, as the enslaved Africans imported to work on the sugar estates, as some locals were also enslaved and made to work on the plantations, and in 1807 the slave trade was abolished, as the Codringtons created a huge slave farm in Barbuda where children were bred to offer the territory. The labour force was not paid, as it went on for years until 1834, where the slaves were emancipated, and during the 18th century Antigua was the only Caribbean under British governance and had a good harbour. Antigua was a dockyard for the British West Indies, and was also used as the base of the British Royal Navy Caribbean Fleet from 1725 to 1854, as the islands came to be known as the English dockyards. Dockyards, since it provided well-protected and sheltered deep water port. Unlike other colonies of the British Empire, slaves in Antigua were emancipated in 1834, as they however remained dependent economically on the plantation owners, as economic chances for the freedmen were restricted, and the scarcity of farming land, inaccessibility to credit, and an economy that was built on agriculture instead of manufacturing. The conditions went on until 1939, when a member of the Royal Commission insisted the establishment of a trade union movement. The Antigua Trades and Labour Union was formed and became the key focus of political enhancement, as the trade union obtained a lot of strength during the mid-years of the 20th century that were economically troubled, as the Cornwall Bird used the trade union as his political vehicle, and he initially became president in of the Union in 1943 as Byrd and other trade unions created the Antigua Labour Party, or ALP, with Byrd as leader, as the party ran its first candidates in 1946 and again in 1951, as the ALP became the majority party, starting a long succession of electoral victories. In 1971, the party was voted out of office in a general election and that placed a progressive Labour movement in power, as Byrd and ALP returned to office 5 years later in 1976. As the two islands attained their independence from the United Kingdom in 1981 and became the nation of Antigua and Barbuda, as the country was led by independence by Byrd from the 1st of November 1981. As the country also joined the Organisation of Eastern Caribbean States, and its formation in 1981, as Antigua and Barbuda is still a part of the Commonwealth of Nations. And it also has remained a part of a constitutional monarchy with Queen Elizabeth as Queen of Antigua and Barbuda, as ALP remained in power throughout the 1980s and was strengthened by divisions in the opposition. The divisions, however, appeared in the ALP towards the late 80s, and the divisions were brought by claims of financial misleading in 86 as the sale of amendments in 1990. Both claims involved senior government officials, and these issues led to continued parliamentary controversy, as in April 1992 the opposition party joined to create the United Progressive Party, or UPP, and in 1993 Byrd retired and his son Lester Byrd became the new Prime Minister, and in March 1994 ALP won its 5th successive victory, securing a total 11 out of the 17 seats in the House, and the UPP won 5. As the Barbudan People's Movement secured only 1, as the UPP won the 2004 general election, making Baldwin Spencer the Prime Minister, as it removed the ALP, which had been the longest service selected government in the Caribbean, from power. So yeah, bye for now, and I'll see you later.